Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Activities for People Living at Home with Dementia. We are proud to offer this series with funding from the Area Agency on Aging and the United Way of Tarrant County. These programs, some of which are recorded and some are made available for viewing through a YouTube channel for future use. I am Martha Brown, your host for today's activities, and I am presenting today a new thing called Flashback. So let's see what Flashback's all about.
Start to say, whoopee.
Whoopee and who?
I don't know what we're going to have, but it's going to be a flashback.
Yes, it will. Yes, it will. And we're going to share the screen again. And go to another picture. Do y'all see purple again?
Yep.
We do.
This is pretty cool. Dusty, are you still with us?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, there you are. Okay. I need to make my little box bigger so I can see everybody. Yeah, there we go. Flashback, I am told, is the power of emotional memories. And when we see pictures of things that remind us of what we've had in our past, it's supposed to click things for us. As this picture, first picture here, shows a Corvair. Yeah. Now we know that they're very dangerous, but I remember zipping down the highway doing 70 in a Corvair, and I lived to tell about it.
Good for you.
That's right. If any of you have seen these pictures before with Heather's group, please don't hesitate to tell me, and we can talk about different pictures because we've got like 50 of them.
Okay.
Oh, word.
I took this picture from a movie. It had B. Arthur in it, and it was just such a funny looking car. I wondered if anybody has seen a car like this, and if you have, tell us about it. Or do you know what kind of a car it is?
Don't have a clue.
No clue.
I think it's a truck that's been an old truck that has been modernized to have all these cool features on it, because I don't know what year it started at, but it's certainly got a body that was never mass produced.
Ah, that's good to know. I didn't even know that. Okie dokie. And I labeled it red truck, but it's most certainly orange.
Yeah, it really is. And you know what? That's okay. Sometimes the bright colors are good to have on your vehicle.
Yes, they are.
Instead of dark colors.
Yes, they are. You know, Paulette, someone told me that there for a long time was a thing where fire trucks were trying to get their color changed from red to yellow because yellow is more easily seen on the road than red.
Oh, yeah.
Interesting. And nowadays, they're just whatever color the city is.
Yeah.
Go figure.
Yeah.
So that was a movie that B. Arthur was in. Let's see what we have next.
Howdy doody.
Yes. And who is his sidekick?
I have no idea.
Says what?
Who is the sidekick of Howdy Doody? Who is the man?
Bob.
Buffalo Bob.
Buffalo Bob.
Yes, Buffalo Bob. And there was a clown.
Who can sing the song?
Clarabelle.
It's howdy
doody
time. It's howdy doody.
Da, 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 da.
We're gonna start the show. So kids, come on, let's go. And that's all I know.
Let's go.
Yay.
Is this where the peanut gallery came from?
But we're not kids anymore.
Yes, it was the peanut gallery.
Yeah.
That's right. But this was in our childhood, Paulette, and that's what we're trying to do, is to go back to our childhood.
Well, yeah, I don't have a problem with that at all.
Oh, good.
Reminisce.
Because that's what we're going to do, is reminisce.
Okay.
Yeah. How old were y'all when Howdy Doody came along?
I don't have a clue. I don't know what age I was.
I remember sitting on the floor watching our new TV, so I must have been about 5 or 6.
Yeah. By the time Myra and I got old enough to watch TV, all we saw was reruns of it.
Reruns, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And in my day, there were no such things.
So, Don, where did you grow up? What town?
Well, I grew up everywhere. I grew up born in California, and I lived in Illinois, and then I lived in Kansas, where I met my beautiful bride,
Yay.
and then we moved to Texas.
Yeah, okay. Well, you've lived in about 5 states then.
Don, where did
Yes.
you live when you watched the reruns of Howdy Doody?
Oh, I also lived in Illinois. Did I say Illinois? I was in Illinois.
Ah, okie dokie. Hans and Yetta, was this before your time in the States?
Yeah, I have no,
No
I don't know
clue.
if we saw maybe once in a blue moon on a Saturday night that it was there or something like that. But I
Okay.
do not recall.
So what brought
Gotcha.
you
Dusty?
to Texas?
To
Well,
work.
Starvation.
Starvation.
Boy, I hear you. This
You
was
wanted to
supposed to
come
be,
to a land with food?
this was supposed to be the land of plenty, wasn't it?
Mhm.
Dusty, where were you when you watched Howdy Doody?
Level
Level Land.
Yeah.
Now, Paulette grew up near Level
Yeah,
Land.
I know where that place is. That's close to Lubbock.
Yes, it is. Well, let's take a look at the next flashback. Let's see what we've got here.
What about Nancy? Is Nancy not on?
Nancy's on, yes.
There you are, Nancy. Did you ever watch Howdy Doody?
No,
Oh, my
No.
word.
And you're a better person for it, Nancy.
we didn't have a television.
Oh, okay.
Well, it was a long time before a lot of us had televisions.
Yeah.
Yes. I threw this picture in to ask y'all, when was the first time you ever saw an elephant?
Mm-mm.
Oh,
Oh,
Many years.
Ringling Brothers Barnum and Bailey Circus is when I saw it the first time.
Ooh,
That was in Chicago.
yeah.
I was probably about 5 or 6.
Uh-huh.
yeah.
Did you go
4 or
into the big
5 in
top?
a zoo.
In a
What
zoo?
was the question?
When was the first time you ever saw an elephant?
At the circus, I'm sure. Did you go
Oh,
to
yeah.
circus? When did you first see an elephant, Philip?
At Ringling Brothers Barnum and
Bailey
Bailey
Circus.
Circus.
You
In
were under-
Chicago.
You were under the big top, weren't you, Phil?
Yeah,
Phil.
in the big city of Chicago. Yeah,
Philip, you were under the big top.
big top.
Yes.
Yes.
And we went through the whole deal. We went through the Midway,
Yeah.
back in the days when they had sideshows.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
Word.
I
Nancy,
keep
when
telling
did
my
you?
granddaughter that when I went to the circus when I was a kid, one of the acts in the sideshow, or one of the exhibitions in the sideshow, was the tattooed lady.
Yes.
That used to
That was
be weird.
considered a sideshow event. Now it's considered normal.
Yeah, that's right.
It is.
Exactly.
You got that right, Phil. Nancy, when did you first see an elephant?
San Francisco Zoo. I don't remember how old I was, middle school.
Uh-huh. Did it smell funny? I remember the zoo smelling funny around the elephants.
Of course it did.
Of course it did.
Yeah.
Yes. Don and Myra, how about you? When did you first see an elephant?
Mine had to be the zoo.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Mine was it was probably about the same time I went to more than one circus, and I went to, I think Decatur, Illinois had a zoo that we went to, and I think they had an elephant, but certainly it's circus.
Certainly they had the circus, yes.
So what town was
Hans?
it, Don?
It was Decatur, Illinois.
Decatur, Illinois.
Hans, when did you see your first elephant?
It's Stuttgart, Germany.
Stuttgart.
In
Yeah.
Germany?
Was it in the zoo?
As usual, so yes.
Yes. Uh-huh. And Yetta?
Also in the zoo in the town closest to where we were.
Yes.
Mm.
Okay. And how about Dusty? How about you and elephants?
Yeah, the zoo. I don't remember
Mhm.
how old I was.
I can recall seeing a circus coming to town, and they paraded all of the animals through the street on their way to the parade grounds. And I remember seeing elephants walking down the street, and I thought that was the weirdest thing in the whole world.
This is in Arkansas?
Yes, Forest City.
That's what I figured.
Yeah, back in that little bitty town.
I grew up in Lubbock, Texas.
Oh,
Have you ever been to Lubbock?
Paulette, did you ever play Pac-Man in Lubbock?
No, I did not play Pac-Man.
Phil, did you play Pac-Man in Lubbock?
In Chicago.
You know, I never did play Pac-Man.
Oh,
You didn't? Not even in Chicago?
no.
No? Don, you're smiling like you've seen this before.
Oh yeah, I had some electronic game that was Pac-Man, and
Uh-huh.
I
it wasn't too
almost
bad
think
at it.
that I was in the service when Pac-Man came out.
Yeah.
Yeah? Did you have a machine you could play on back then, Phil?
A machine you could play on.
No.
Usually they had them in bowling alleys and such like that.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, Don, I remember those. How about Myra? Pac-Man or a lady Pac-Man or Pac-Man girl?
It was in the bowling alley.
Bowling alley.
Bowling alley, yeah.
Yeah.
Did any of you ever play Pong?
Oh yes. Yes.
Yes. Pong was the first thing I ever played, and it was a dial-up and a screen.
Yeah.
There was no computer.
It was the first video game.
It was. Oh,
When
my-
I was I played Pong when I was in college because one of the electrical engineers that lived on my hall had I don't know, the best way to describe it is hacked his TV so that he could hook the gaming console up, and we had paddles that we could use to play Pong. But
oh, my goodness.
it was the homemade Pong.
Yeah. I remember moving a little something up and down the side.
Yep.
You had to get to the ball before it hit the back wall.
Yep.
Yeah. Was that the same thing you
No,
had?
that's not this.
Oh,
No, that's Pong.
Pong. Oh, Pong. Yes, you're right. Pong. It is.
Pong. Yeah. Okay. Nancy, did you ever play Pong or Pac-Man?
No,
No?
Oh.
When was the first time you ever saw a computer, Nancy?
oh,
Word.
I don't know.
I know, it's been too long ago.
It was before you came to Texas, wasn't it?
28.
Oh, yes. I just came to Texas.
Yeah.
No, 78. I got it when I was a camera.
I had a computer in the 70s, I guess. So whatever time I had money for a computer at that time.
Okay.
Boy, I understand that. Hans and Yetta, when did y'all first see computer games like this?
Well, when our kids were old enough to play them.
Oh, they got it stuck, huh?
Mhm. Yeah.
How
we
many-
never
How
played
many
the
kids
game.
did you have?
We have 2 together and Hans has 1.
Oh, okay.
Hans and Yetta, how did your children convince you that you needed to invest money in that sort of a thing?
I have no idea. I guess it was because everybody else had it, and
Yeah.
you go that way.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You didn't make them save their nickels and dimes? No.
I don't remember. They
Oh.
probably got them for birthday or Christmas or something like that.
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
Yeah. Dusty, did you ever play Pac-Man?
Yes, I had a buddy that had a pizza place and he had a Pac-Man machine in his store. And
Did you
we-
get to play free because he was your buddy?
I don't remember, but I remember us playing a lot.
Well, that's good. If you
Yeah.
played a lot, he must have been a good friend.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
he was a good buddy.
What, do you remember his name?
Antonio Capriati.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Boy, that's reaching back, isn't it?
Yeah,
Does that bring back good memories to?
his
Dusty, does
family
it?
was- he was Italian, of course.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Does that bring back good memories?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
He was a fabulous guitar player.
Oh,
One of the best I guess I ever knew.
oh my goodness. Well, that is nice to bring up that memory then, isn't it?
Yes.
It sure is. We're going to move on to the next page. Let's see. Does anybody know what this is?
No, it's a small box of a
That looks
kind.
like a mailbox.
Of a kind,
Oh, so,
of a kind.
okay.
A suggestion box at home for a honey to-do list.
I should have used it for that, but I didn't. Back in the olden days, when cash registers didn't have paper, it was just the buttons, and it popped up at the top how much the customer owed.
Mhm.
They'd have to write everything on a slip of paper, and then the customer would get a slip of paper, and you put the second slip of paper into this, and this
Oh,
was the
okay.
receipt box.
Hmm.
Okay.
And at the end, there's a little key right about here.
Ah,
Mhm.
yeah.
It's hard to
Okay.
see. It had a key so nobody could dig in it during the day. And at night, you'd empty your receipt box so you could count how much money you made.
Yes.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. I found that in an antique store 50 years ago.
Wow.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah,
You still have it?
I do. Yeah.
Good.
I put this little thing right here is a canvas bag
Okay.
to be a money bag for a bank
Okay.
that my grandfather was a president of in Steele, Missouri.
Okay.
And that bag's probably 100 years old, if not more.
Wow.
Yeah.
How fun.
Yeah. How fun. But
That's
then
fun.
Were you born and raised in Missouri?
I lived there for a while, and my parents were both born in Missouri, but I was born in Memphis, Tennessee.
Oh, my word.
Yeah. Well, that's on my couch. Yeah. Well, since nobody has a history with that and didn't know what that was, we'll move on to
Okay.
something a little more fun.
Yeah. Spin-
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my word, Barbie.
Who
Yeah.
had a Barbie or Hot Wheels?
No, I like
Hot Wheels.
the banana
banana
seat bike.
Mm.
Yeah.
And a seat bike.
Well, you had to have some money to get that extension to make it taller.
Well, mine was not set up like that because, quite frankly, I thought that was ridiculous. So
Yeah.
my grandpa got a bike and a banana seat, and it was cheetah. It had a cheetah plastic print on it,
Ooh.
but it had the monkey bars. And I rode
Is that what
that
these
thing
are?
to death.
These are the monkey bars?
Those are the monkey bars, yeah.
Oh, so your seat was down here. So you were like a biker?
Yeah, I was like a low rider, yeah.
I love it. And it was cheetah print on the seat.
Cheetah print, yeah, I remember that.
Oh, Don, you were styling, weren't you?
I was.
Yeah.
I thought it was cool.
How old were you then?
I must have been 5 or 6.
Yeah.
And I remember getting a pack of playing cards out of the drawer and using clothespins to put them in between the things and the bike and the wheel spokes.
Uh-huh.
Then I ride, and it sounded like I was riding it sounded like I was riding something, but
Yes, a motor.
I took it to be that was my motor noise.
That was your motor. I remember.
I
Yeah.
don't think my mother ever figured out what I was using those cards for.
Well, you ruined the deck, I'm sure.
Oh yeah.
Don, were you an only child?
No, I have a brother. He lives in Kansas now.
Oh,
How many years difference in your ages?
3.
3. Okay.
who's the oldest?
I'm the older one.
Okay.
Phil, did you ever have a bicycle like this?
Yeah, I never had one like that. I mean, I'm telling my age if I tell you that those came out when my kids were riding bikes.
I
Oh, yeah.
understand. Well, you know, Don and Myra are the youngsters of the group. So that's pretty normal. Yeah. Did you
Yeah.
buy any bicycles like this for your children, Phil and Paulette?
No, not really. I had a bicycle.
Tell us
You know,
about it.
there was about 5 years difference in me and my brother. There was only two of us.
Mm-hmm.
And
Tell us about your bicycle.
my
Tell us
bicycle,
about your bicycle.
well, it was a good bicycle. I mean, it wasn't anything extra special.
Do you remember what color it was?
I think it was a blue. I don't know. I don't
Okay.
know for sure.
Okay. Myra, did I hear you say that you had a bicycle?
Yeah, I had one like this.
Really? Do you had a banana seat?
I had a banana seat.
Boy,
Does it
you
play
were
like that?
styling too. My
And I still have the scar on my toe where I thought I could ride on the handlebars and my friend could ride on the seat and we could both of us ride on it together.
Oh my word. Dangerous. Oh
I've
my
done things like that. I totally get it. Ansenetta, tell us about your bicycle experiences.
Not anything like that. We always had a normal, at least I did, and always a normal looking bike.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember if our kids had something with a seat similar to that.
No,
I,
this wasn't common.
yeah, well, I don't know.
This
And
was
then
a
Barbie,
fun
I never played with Barbie. Christina had Barbies, but no.
Ooh. Oh, back when I was a kid, there was only one Barbie and you were lucky to get that.
That's right.
God.
Yeah. Nancy, did you ever have a Barbie or a bicycle?
Both, but the bicycle probably at age 10, and we saved our money, my sister and I together, because we couldn't get one up separate.
Okay.
And we picked huckleberries.
Oh,
Yeah,
That's great.
they grow wild. And then we would
You
sell
got paid for doing that, huh?
Nancy, you got it the hard way.
Right.
You had to
but
work for it.
it was a Schwinn. It was the best.
Mhm.
Nothing better.
And we had more fun with that bike.
I
Mhm.
bet you did. Who learned to balance first? Do you remember who learned to balance first?
To bike it.
To balance on the
To
bike.
balance first,
On the
You
bicycle.
or your sister.
probably my sister. She's very, very athletic.
Ah,
Athletic. Okay.
uh-huh. Well, Dusty, tell us about your bicycle.
Oh, I don't remember. I know we always had a bike,
Yeah.
but I don't even remember what color it was or anything.
Did anybody have a newspaper route with the bicycle?
What?
Yeah,
Newspaper route.
Oh,
Newspaper route?
oh, yeah.
No, I did not.
Oh, I'm sorry. I did for about 2 weeks.
Philip said he had a bicycle route that he went on. That was in Chicago, though.
Phil, did you make good money doing that?
Did you make good money doing that, delivering papers?
well, I guess it's all in perspective.
It is, isn't it?
You know,
Yeah.
I got whatever I made, I don't remember exactly how much it was. I got 25 cents out of it.
Uh-huh.
The rest of it went directly to my mom.
Oh,
Well, that's the way.
And I got 25 cents for the movie on Saturday. And that would get me into the movie and get me popcorn.
oh, there you go.
And that was the height of luxury for us then.
Oh, yeah.
It was a big deal when I got to go to the movie and get popcorn.
Sure. Yeah.
And they had air conditioning in the movie.
Yes, they
Oh,
They did, didn't they?
And he was in Chicago. That's when he lived in the big city.
Does anyone else remember when the movie theaters all had the signs on them, on the marquee, air conditioned, you know?
I
Yeah.
don't remember that, no.
I remember some of the motels and the courts would say free phones and cold air.
Cold there.
Oh, let's see what else we have here.
Okay.
Oh, I'm going to move us out of the middle. This is what?
Perfect.
starfish.
Starfish. Did
Yep.
anybody ever have a goldfish or an aquarium?
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Yeah, we did.
Tell us about it, Yetta.
Well, it was just a small aquarium that I don't know if it was my dad who wanted one or my brothers, but at least we had one with little guppies in it. So, and then I remember one time we had some of these red fish, we would call them swordfish. They had a black tail.
Oh, pretty.
And I think it was one of them, and the female was pregnant, and I think my brothers were home alone, so they dissected the fish to see the babies.
Oh, no.
Yes,
So much for that batch, huh?
yes.
Hans, did you ever have fish or a tank?
Other than at a fishing hook.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, yeah.
That's
Oh,
more
yeah.
fun.
My daddy was a fisherman. Boy, I loved to eat fish when I was growing up.
Yeah.
Dusty, did you ever have fish or a tank when you were growing up?
No, I don't think so.
Mm-mm. And how about Don and Myra?
I did not, no.
Uh-huh.
I had countless number of aquariums.
Really?
Yes.
You loved them,
Yes.
huh?
I actually, I started having aquariums when I was, in grade school.
Uh-huh.
And I had to give them up in high school. But then after Myra and I were married for a while, we got an aquarium.
Uh-huh.
And then eventually we had a saltwater aquarium.
Ooh,
So that was the last aquarium we had, I think.
they're a lot of upkeep, aren't they?
They are, yeah.
They are. What fascinated you about the fish, Don?
Oh, the way they swam, the colors, the little babies they made sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
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 And angelfish, I loved angelfish. And discus. I never owned a discus, but it's the kind of fish that I wanted to have.
I've never heard of a discus. I'm going to have to look that one up.
Yeah, it was about a 4-inch circle kind of thing. Looked like like something you threw for field and track.
Oh, like
But
a
it was
frisbee.
a fish.
Oh,
But yeah, I love fish in every form, especially fried on my plate.
yum. Yeah. How about Phil and Paulette? Did either of you grow up with a fish tank?
I did not. Mm-mm.
Nor did I.
No. How about Miss Nancy?
No.
No. Okay. I remember winning a goldfish at the fair once, and I killed it before I got it home. Take it home in a bag.
Yeah.
It didn't last till I got into that.
No, those fish were not meant to live in that little bowl that you got with it. No,
No.
they needed something bigger.
That's right.
And I had a whole series of round glass aquariums,
Yeah, yeah.
and the wind blew them over and the fish were on the floor.
Oh,
No, I'm kidding. That was that one, that one,
Heather showed.
yeah. The
that
one
reminds me of,
Fitwit that Emily did. It was a riddle.
oh, yes. Okay.
But
Gosh.
no, I enjoyed fish more round aquariums than square ones, but I had a lot of fish. Yeah.
That reminds me of Finding Nemo
Uh,
and all the fish wanting to get out.
we had a goldfish. I had forgotten about it.
Oh, tell me.
It died, and there's like 6 kids, little kids. We're all the age of 5 or less.
Oh my.
And we took it to bury it. And we dug a hole. And then we had this terrible fight about what we were going to sing. And no one knew the right song. And we ended up singing Happy Birthday.
Lord.
It was so cute.
That's funny, Nancy.
That is funny. That's
That's a great memory.
so you all got together and you worked your difference out and came up with that song. That's great.
Hey, it's one you all knew.
Yeah.
Thank you, Nancy.
Yeah.
This particular starfish was in my tank,
Oh, okay.
and it had babies.
Oh,
And
really?
they were little teeny tiny starfish, no bigger than smaller than your fingernail on your tiny finger, about half the size of your fingernail on your tiny finger. And it spew out like 30 or 40 of them. And you'd find them all over the tank. I thought that was pretty fascinating.
Did you have any other fish that ate them?
Yeah, we had some clownfish
Yes.
and some that were blue and yellow, and some were
Tangs.
tangs, yes, and some yellow ones.
Damsels.
Thank you.
Damselfish.
And lots of I think right here is a tiny seashell.
Okay.
It had, and there were seashells all over that were living. There's a shell, and they would crawl up the side of the tank, and you could see their insides.
Oh, yeah.
As they made their way up the side of the tank.
Yeah.
Yeah. We were gone on a trip and came home to it gone. The light fell into the water and killed them all.
Oh, no.
Gosh.
The guy that serviced our tank found it, and he cleaned it all up before we got home.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
I love those fish. We called that the jewel of our house when we had it. It was pretty big. One more. Oh, who had a swimming cap?
Not me.
Yeah.
It's,
I did.
Yeah. Yetta, were you made
Yes.
to have a swimming cap, or did you want one?
no, we had to wear it because the water was semi-cold, and then it was always blowing, so our hair could not get wet. We would be freezing.
Oh,
So
okay.
we had to wear one of those
Okay.
when we were little kids, and then we stopped wearing it.
Yes.
Yeah,
When you were old enough to know enough to come in when you were cold.
yeah, but never a fancy one like that. Just always a white one.
White. I had a pink one. I thought I was uptown because it was a color. I totally get you. What other ladies had a swim cap?
I did.
Nancy,
Yeah.
tell me about your swim cap.
It's just a regular old swim cap, and we wore it to keep her hair clean.
Oh, okay. Good to know. This was probably during the era of Esther Williams, wasn't it? Back in the 50s.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, Dusty. Did you ever see girls and women wearing swim caps?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
My mother and my aunt used to go swimming, and they had caps.
Caps? Yes, yes. Were they fashionable then, Dusty? Do you remember?
Most of the women wore them. I guess that's fashionable.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah. Myra, did you ever wear a swim cap?
Well, I was supposed to wear one. I left the house with the swim cap on because I always was getting ear infections, and my mother just knew a swim cap would stop that. But by the time I got to the swimming pool, the cap was off.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
But being me, I would put the cap on before I got home. Well, my hair was still wet underneath it.
Sure. My hair never stayed dry either. I don't understand the purpose of a swim cap.
No.
So, Martha, you mentioned Esther Williams.
Yes.
She was born in 1921 and died in 2013.
Wow.
Oh,
So she was 92.
wow.
Yeah.
My goodness. Wow. And her heyday was in the 50s then, wasn't it?
I guess I've seen some of her movies, but they were like reruns.
Uh-huh. Oh, yeah. Oh, the reruns. Yes. I didn't see anything with an audience either. No. Mm-mm. Nancy,
I like to think about swimming.
Yes,
swim cap?
I
yes,
like to think about
Yes.
swimming.
I had one,
What color was yours?
white,
White. That's
ugly,
cool.
ugly white. This one's pretty.
It is pretty. I've never seen one with just a few flowers on it. Usually it's either plain or it's all flowers,
All
Yeah.
flowers, yeah.
like you see in the movies.
Yeah.
Oh my. The pool when I lived in Cape Girardeau, Missouri for Paulette's for her benefit, we had a pool there was a park across the street from my house. I just literally step out of my front door and down to the curb and across the street, and I was in the park. And we had a pool, but for some reason, they didn't want people to wear cutoffs, and all of the women had to wear caps, and that was to keep their filter clean.
Yeah.
Mm.
They didn't care about our hair. They didn't care about us being cold.
Yeah.
They didn't want our hair in their filter.
Yeah, well, we swam in the sea, so that was not a problem.
Oh, I guess it was not.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I
Well,
imagine.
Well, in Denmark, you've got a lot of water around you,
We
don't you?
do.
A lot of cold water.
A lot of cold
That's
water,
true.
yes.
Yeah. My goodness.
people got drowned by having long hair and going in the pool.
Yes, they'd get it caught, wouldn't they?
Yeah,
I have heard of that before.
yeah. The laws in California are real strict. We had to change our swimming pool there. It cost us a fortune because the law changed.
Oh, wow.
My goodness. Well, I'm glad it did. Sometimes the laws are for our benefit. Today, not so much, but
Not so much. Yeah.
Mhm.
sometime back. I wish we could talk about politics. I would love to.
That would be nice.
Yes.
No,
No.
no.
Let's look at another picture. Anybody know what this is?
Coffee grinder.
Coffee grinder. Yes. You unscrew the top and put the beans in and shut the drawer and turn the crank.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Let's add a little Prince Albert tobacco in there.
Yes, yes. This belonged to my grandfather.
Okay. You know, we'd always ask, do you have Prince Albert in a can? And they say, yes. And they say, well, let him out.
Well, let him out. Oh, the days of telephone pranks.
Yeah.
Do you have running water? Yeah. Oh, totally, totally. Did anybody ever crank their own beans?
I think my grandparents did, and we did it when we were visiting.
Uh-huh. Was it a big deal when they let you turn the crank?
Oh, yeah, that was fun.
Yeah. This kind of reminds me a little bit of the old ice cream makers.
Oh, yeah.
When you'd have to crank it and crank it and crank it, and the kids would get anxious and no, it's not done yet. You crank it some more. The kids would get tired and daddy'd have to come along and crank it some more. Did y'all
Yeah,
let
we had a coffee grinder in our kitchen.
You did?
Yeah,
Did it smell wonderful? Fresh ground?
yeah, it smelled wonderful.
Uh-huh. Well, it doesn't get any fresher than that, does it, Nancy?
No,
No. Were you drinking coffee then, or were you a child?
no, I was drinking coffee then.
Uh-huh. So did you ever get to grind the beans?
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
yeah. I guess if you have to, it's not so much of a treat. How about Phil and Paulette? Did y'all have one of these in your home?
I did not, no.
No?
Now, we would go to the grocery store and buy coffee and grind it there at the store. And there
Yeah.
was,
Mm-hmm.
Don is nodding. Yetta's nodding. Yes.
Mhm.
Myra's
I didn't do it,
nodding.
but I know I've seen those. Yes.
Yeah, well, that's what my parents did.
Oh, yeah.
That was in Chicago.
That was in Chicago. That's right.
Yep.
Yeah. My parents and my grandparents.
my mother always said, now be sure you tap that so you get all the grounds in the bag.
That sounds like something I'd say, Phil.
My grandparents and my parents were dyed in the wool. What's it? I just had the name of the coffee on. It's the guy with the folders. It's the guy with the hat on a monkey on a donkey going through the.
That was
Juan Valdez.
Yes.
Oh, Valdez.
Juan Valdez, thank you.
And my grandparents were absolutely furious when the price of coffee went up 10 cents. They said, there's no reason for it to go up.
No, there's not. And you know that the pound of coffee is not 16 ounces anymore. The can is like 12 ounces now.
Yeah, I'm sure of that. Yeah.
I don't drink coffee, so I don't have that problem. But man, Yetta, did you have coffee around you as a child?
Yes, we did have coffee. My parents drank it. We did, and they would mix the real coffee in with some, I don't know, substitute coffee so that it would last longer.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. With another kind of a bean like Sanka.
Yeah, probably
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah. I remember being 5 or 6 years old, and I would beg my father for a sip of coffee. And finally, one day he dunked a cookie in it and let me have a piece of the wet cookie, and it didn't taste good.
Oh,
My word.
It ruined my cookie.
yeah. I remember my first coffee. That was more like a third of coffee and then rest of milk and then lots of sugar.
Oh, yeah.
So that was good.
Mm-hmm. Dusty, what are your coffee memories?
Just of having coffee every morning and not feeling right if I didn't have it.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. And Dusty?
I started drinking coffee when I was just real small. Mom would take me to the bakery and we'd have coffee 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
That'd warm you up in the winter, wouldn't it?
Oh my word.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That was a good reason to have coffee, was to warm you up, just not to get the caffeine when you're a little kid, but to keep you warm. I always liked cocoa myself. What else do we have here? We've got time for one more and then we need to split.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
baby shoes and S&H green stamps. Who has a story?
I just remember them licking them, put them on them pages. You have a big stamp for, I think, a whole page, maybe.
Yeah, you could get a whole page if you bought enough groceries.
Yep.
I'm talking about there was a bit of one stamp that represented a lot of stamps.
Yeah.
I think you put it on, I think it was the whole page that it represented.
There were, I'd forgotten about those. You're right. Yeah. It'd save you all that licking and sticking.
Yep.
Did anybody ever turn in green stamps and get a goodie?
Yes, I did. I bought all my kitchen things when I first got married. My mother-in-law had saved
Oh,
for
wow.
the beginning. So all those years she saved, and I got so much stuff, like stepping stools.
Oh, my goodness.
Mm.
Yeah. Stepping stool was a big deal. Everybody had to have, did the seat flip up so you could go up 2 steps?
Yeah.
I had a yellow one, but I didn't get mine with stamps. But you were lucky to have a step stool.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, my
I got a toaster. I got just all kinds of.
Nancy, boy, you were fortunate. She saved all those for you.
Mhm.
Yeah. Who else turned in stamps and got goodies?
My grandmother and grandfather did. I think my mother did to some extent.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Did you ever benefit from that?
Not to my knowledge.
No.
But I was in charge of licking the stamps.
So my S&H green stamp story,
Uh-huh.
when I was auditing for GT Southwest, at that time, they had a fleet of 12 airplanes that would fly around and collect tapes with toll information on it before they could transmit the toll data over the internet.
Yeah.
They would fly in, get these tapes and bring them back to a data center and process them so that they could get their revenue fast. Well, we were doing an audit of the aviation department, and we found this one airport that kept getting a lot of our traffic. And it was an area that did not have It was not served by our GTE exchanges.
Mhm.
We're trying to figure out, why is this airport getting all that activity? So a little bit of investigation, we found out that when the pilots would land there and they refuel the airplanes, and they would get S&H green stamps for refueling. They were flying out of their way to get to that specific airport.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, that's
There
good.
were a couple of pilots that lost their jobs.
I bet, yeah.
Oh, man, I bet those wives were really happy for a while. Thank you for that story, Phil. That's just perfect to end on, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is. Oh, you guys, I have had so much fun going back over memories today.
Yeah.
We'll do flashback again sometime.
Okay,
Yeah,
sounds
that's
good.
great.
Yeah, we have lots of pictures left to go. And if you have an item that you want to take a picture of and have me put in this thing, I can do it. If you have an old something, like an old doll or a comic book or a C. Dick and Jane or a jump rope that you had as a child, I mean, anything that you might still have around, take a picture of it and we'll put it in the system.
Okay.
Won't that be fun?
That'd be great.
Yeah.
Yep.
Anybody have anything they want to share today?
What's tomorrow?
What's tomorrow? That's a good question. Let's take a look.
Wednesday.
What day is it going to be?
Shakespeare.
Peggy Spears, I know that.
Okay, here's flashback today. 1:30 today is Fitwits, in case you're interested. Emily should be home. Tomorrow, portraits with the
Portraits, yes.
Yes, and portraits at 10:30, and then at 11:30, Where in the World is Heather? And at 1:30, Nia moving to Heel. Forget those numbers. We're keeping y'all busy, aren't we?
Yeah.
We're busy.
Absolutely. I love being with y'all. Thank you so much.
Thank
We
you.
like,
Thank
Good
you.
day, everybody.
Have a good day.
Bye-bye.
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 Bye. Bye.
Bye.